You guys didn't sleep in the same bed for 14 years?
Mhm.
All right, so talk to me. Okay, tell me what's going on.
Well, I read your book
You
all in
read
one
my
night.
book? Come on.
All in one night.
Start.
I
All right.
started right away with all the practices.
Good for you.
Um,
How they
I've
do?
been working on the detoxifying. Like the example you have on there is exact to
What you're dealing
what
with?
I dealt with. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you like the book.
One
Some
of
of the
them.
stuff works. Did you use
Loved it.
disappearance?
Yes, I used disappearance. I've tried everything. The issue I have is that um there's a lot of family members that are very important to him, like his mother and sister, who are uh, not on my side.
I got it. Now, why
And
are they? So first of all, how long have you guys been together? Tell me that.
14 years.
14 years. Do you guys have
Well,
children
we
together?
grew up together. We grew up,
Wow.
we went to elementary school together, parted ways through high school, then in mid 20s, reconnected through Facebook. And that's then we got married. Well, I got pregnant before getting married, which was a blessing because I wasn't supposed to be able to get pregnant. So,
Beautiful. Miracle
uh,
baby.
yeah. And so she's 12, turning 13.
Okay.
Only child. He was an alcoholic. Became severe alcoholic when he lost his 20-year-old son 4 years ago. I dealt with supporting him through that and everything else. Uh,
Okay.
la- Last year, he finally got sober because he found out that my daughter went to school and was complaining to the counselor there about him.
Okay.
And in the last year where he got sober, he was dealing with the tremors and all because he just went cold turkey. Um, so that's where the
Was it
parting ways.
alcohol or also anything else? Any other substance or just alcohol?
Just alcohol.
Okay, got it.
So that's where the parting ways started. But he was busy working a lot last year until he got an injury on the last day of November. So then he was off on injury. And since then was when he started telling me like all this time he was at home and I was trying to go to work to make up to pay for the bills because there was no compensation coming in.
Right.
Um, so I was just like really focused on work and everything and trying to keep up with everything. And he was at home and obviously having lots of time to meet people and
Online or like
online
out?
and in person.
Okay, got
The
it.
person that he's with right now, he met in person at the local Tim Hortons.
Okay. The local what?
Um, the local Tim Hortons coffee shop.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, got it. As I understand it, you're saying so the alcoholism, how long has the alcoholism been an issue? So I can be clear?
That was an issue for the whole 14 years up until last year,
Okay.
February
And
of last year.
February of last year, and then that's when your daughter, when he discovered that your daughter had been talking to the counselor about his alcoholism, and so he
hmm
shifted it, right?
hmm
Okay, and then there's a loss of the job.
hmm
Okay, and that happened, so I can get the timeline right.
November 29th of last year.
Okay, so 2023 November, then there's that shift. Okay, I got it. And then he starts meeting other people during that time. Now, what's going on between the two of you during that time? Like, are you having
A lot of
sex? What's the
financial stress.
deficiency? Are you
See, that's the
fighting?
thing. The we haven't slept with each other in the same room for years since my daughter was born because she had separation anxiety, and I had to be close with her to sleep in order to get any sleep because otherwise I wouldn't be able to
So
sleep
you
at
have
all.
not, you guys didn't sleep in the same bed for 14 years?
Mhm.
There's your problem right there. Right?
Well, yeah, but I would go to his room or he would come to mine, right?
I mean, that's cute, for a little while. Guys, so one of the things that I want to talk to you about, Christine, I'm going to bring people back and then I'm going to start working with you, okay? Because I want to make sure everybody's in this conversation powerfully. Guys, one of the things I tell people all the time, if you don't follow me on Instagram, Mario Chet Real, MarioChereal. And man, we put great stuff out there, bottom line. All right, so if you get an opportunity, go there and look at some of the stuff that I actually do. But I talk about it all the time. You have to fight for the bedroom. Now, why do you have to fight for the bedroom? Well, when I talk about happy hormones, guys, as Christina knows, she read the book, we have DOSE, D-O-S-E, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. These are the four main happy hormones that get triggered when we feel that in-love feeling, right? Now, what happens is a lot of us, oxytocin, the second one, is very, very important for bonding. All right, I'm going to say it again. Oxytocin is extremely important for bonding. When you met your partner and you decided to bond with your partner, you were having some form of a cocktail of oxytocin that was being released at that time when you bonded with them and you decided, hey, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And they felt that very same thing. And that's what happened with Christina. Now, here's the thing. You've got to recharge that oxytocin. Does that make sense? That oxytocin's got to be recharged, and that oxytocin gets recharged in the bedroom. So I don't mean just sex, by the way. I mean the holding each other, that ability to just touch each other, like being in the same bed together. Does that make sense? That's a recharge of that oxytocin that creates that bonding. And when we lose that bedroom, that is a big deal. So the fact that you guys actually survived 14 years without being in the same bed is honestly, it's a demonstration of what kind of connection you really had. And, honestly, it's a miracle, to be honest with you. Just like that miracle baby, that's that miracle as well. You have to fight for the bedroom. Does that make sense? Does everybody, I'm just checking in with everybody. Does everybody get what I'm saying here? Super important. Okay. So if you can fight, because that's the one time that we're going to get that recharge. Also, if you get to do a 20-second hug, believe it or not, that's fantastic. It's great. When you get a long hug, how many of you actually allow yourself to feel that goodness? Hug somebody, all right? Hopefully your partner, if you can. Hug that person for a good 20 seconds. Hold them for 20 seconds and you feel something, a release. It'll actually feel good. That is actually oxytocin, and that's creating that bonding. Does that make sense? That desire to bond, believe it or not. So anyway, what she did, guys, now you can see the math of it, of that relationship, is that she took the bonding out. Does that make sense? They took the bonding out for 13 or 14 years. It makes complete sense why that wasn't there. Now, for some of you, you're like, well, I don't have an opportunity to be in the same bed right now. Don't worry. There are other ways to trigger oxytocin, okay, is what I want to tell you. But that's the main way is a relationship. If your relationship, you do everything you can to not take that out. Even if you're fighting, don't go sleep on the couch, all right? Stay in the bedroom, fight for the bedroom, okay? Does that make sense what I'm saying? If you have that shot, do that. If you don't, we'll use something else. We'll trigger that oxytocin. We'll get you back to the bedroom, and then we'll start that all over again. So first of all, give it up for Christina. Thank you, Christina, for your shares so far. Thanks for reading the book and doing the work. Just what I want to say. Christina, you're doing great, okay? Keep going. So you so you guys never actually slept together in the same bedroom, all right? And so you slept in the bed with I bet you have a fantastic relationship with your daughter, though. Right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, right? Of course, because now you guys got oxytocin, tons of oxytocin flowing between the two of you, but, not so much with your husband. All right, cool. And so now that's 14 years of a deficiency in your relationship. Besides the times that you guys come into each other's room to satisfy your needs, and then you go back. Then you get that little spike of happy hormones, and then you go back to your own rooms and go to sleep. Okay? Yeah. I get that. Okay, so back in November, so he's no longer working, you're out there working, you're grinding, making money for you guys, and now he's now meeting people at the local Tim Hortons, you called it? We don't have one of those, so Yeah. So, so he's picking up somebody at the local Tim Hortons and meeting people online and, just socializing, getting around and stuff like that. All right. So tell me kind of what's happened since then. All right. And so this started in November, or when did you figure out that this actually started?
I figured out that with this woman that he's with, it was in January.
Okay.
Um, she, because of the financial stress, she promotes a product, like an MLM, and she used that to get to him
So
and
like he
has
was going to jump in
promised,
the MLM and then he's going to make money. Is that how it works?
and
I got
that's what's going on, and has promised him that he's going to make all this money because it's a product from the US that's new here in Canada, and it's gonna boom and it's gonna make him rich and famous and yeah. And
And how's that going so far?
well, and he's got it in his head now that it's gonna take him a year in order to do anything well. So
Right.
in the meantime, I've been trying to be there for him, trying to dose with oxytocin by giving him some head massages and whatever. Like he
Mhm.
won't let me get close to him. He won't let me hug him. Won't let me kiss him.
So is he out in the open about, so are they having, first of all, are they having a physical relationship currently, this woman,
Yes, yes, they are.
since January?
Yes.
Okay. And so this physical relationship's been happening and has he been vocal about it? Or is it something that he doesn't know that you know about?
I know that he doesn't know. I know about it because I hacked into his social media.
We are, man, I tell you what, women should be spies. Like men are horrible. All right. But yeah, so I get it. So you hack into his social media and you get access to figure out what's going on there. And good for you, right? So this is actually interesting, guys, because some of you like, oh, confront them, and now, then we'll get to the bottom of this. But that may not actually work because the moment he actually finds out, he says, "Ooh, phew, ah." Now
That's
she
what
knows.
happened.
I
That's
can.
what happened
Oh,
because
so he found
before,
out that you knew, and did you
mhm,
confront him? Yeah.
yeah,
And now it's
and
like, see, guys, this
that's
is why
how
you
we're
want to be
going
careful.
through a separation right now.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Thank you. All right, and this is why, guys, I tell people to come to us because the moment that you actually tell them, sometimes in your situation, depending on your situation, if you actually tell them, hey, I know that you're doing this thing, and you confront them and you don't have the tools that are necessary to see it through, what happens is they say, oh, thank God you know. Now I can go do what I really want to do, is the bottom line. Does that make sense? So sometimes it's a good idea for us not to share that we know the situation and for us to begin to dose to trigger those happy hormones and to detoxify the relationship. Does that make sense? And this is actually much more important. So, guys, the whole thing that's got to happen with Christina here, and I think that what she's dealing with more than anything else is a dose deficiency, right? So there's a dose deficiency. Now, let me ask you a question. When I say dose deficiency, I mean that this woman is making him feel good. He's getting a dopamine spike. He's getting that happy hormone spike from her, and he's not actually getting it. He's not getting it from Christina. That's the problem. You guys
He
understand
won't
this?
let me.
Well, he won't let you anymore because now he's locked up and he's committed to another source. Now, let me ask you a question. Did you guys fight? Because I'm trying to look for the toxicity, right? So I don't hear any toxicity. I hear that he has been an alcoholic. He probably is what we call an alleviation of stress. That's probably one of his top primary drivers, like the thing that he goes after. He alleviates stress. Am I right about that so far, Christina, from reading the book?
Hmm.
Yeah. All right, cool. So he definitely is an alleviate stress. What's his other one? Serotonin or dopamine?
I think it's dopamine.
Yeah, he's probably, I knew it because that's why he's getting attracted to this other person because this other person's giving him dopamine spikes that he hasn't had in a long time, right? Is the bottom line. So 100% that could be it. All right, so let's talk about this because you guys have a daughter together. How old's your daughter now?
She's 12, turning 13 in August.
Okay, good. You're still good. All right. And he's still in the home.
For now, yes.
Yeah, for now he's still in the home. And so you guys filed for separation, is what you said?
We haven't filed yet.
Okay, good. You're good. You're good. You're good so far. All right. These are good things. Okay. All right. So what we need is proximity. We just need to be able to have contact points. Do you understand this? And you have contact points right now. Absolutely, we can work on the relationship and have you shift it. Now, let's talk about the toxicity because everybody here, if your partner's pushed away from you, there's a good chance that there's toxicity that's been in the relationship. Does that make sense? Some of you, there are your real issue is not toxicity. Some of you, your issue is that they don't feel good around you anymore. So it's an emptiness, right? More than anything else. And so what had to happen is now they're going to be looking for other sources to self-medicate because we all need to get a happy hormone fix. Everybody needs to get a happy hormone fix. You need to get a happy hormone fix. I need to get a happy hormone fix. We all need to get that. And we're going to find a source for it if we're not getting it at home, period. But Christina, tell me, first off, the first place we want to look is where's the toxicity? Is there actually toxicity that's showing up? Like, where did you guys fight a lot?
We fought a lot because of financial, um, which is still a big issue right now.
And so what'd you fight over specifically?
Not having money, like not being able to, like we were hermits all the time because we didn't have money to go out and do anything. It was like we're locked up all the time at home because there was no spending money.
Yeah, I got that. Okay. And so where's the fight coming from? Because it looks like you guys should be fighting for each other, not necessarily against, right? So what are you fighting over? Who's blaming who? Tell on yourself. It's time to tell on yourself, Christina.
Well, when the whole big thing came down, I threw a lot of nasty talk towards him, especially regarding how his son had passed away and he wasn't a good enough father. And I always was trying to, like, all those emotions I had been bottling up of how his relationship was with his son because I loved his son a lot.
Mm.
And I threw that
So
all at
when it
him.
all came down, I'm not talking about it had to be before her, right? So because he was
No.
pushing away from you before her, right?
Oh, before her,
Yeah.
honestly, the fights we had was just about money and cleanliness because obviously I was always tired because I was stressed over the finances and mortgage and bills and him being at home not doing anything, and it was like you're home all day, why don't you goddamn pick up the vacuum and vacuum the house or something while I'm
And
working,
so
you
this
know?
happened in the last 6 months. That happened in the last, yeah, 7 or 8 months. Okay, I got it. And so you're like, you're home all day, you're not doing anything, and then you can't even pick up the vacuum,
Mhm.
right? I got that, right? And so it's like, you're useless. Tell the truth. What'd you tell him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, like I'm not a person to throw a lot at people, like, and more of I was getting at the point where I was staying longer at work just not to come home and feel his negativity because he was always in a bad mood and I felt like I was walking on eggshells all the time.
I got that.
Anything I'd say, he would like turn around into an argument, even though it wasn't intended for that purpose or anything. It was,
I get that. All right. So yeah. So there was a lot of negativity that was there in the beginning. So tell me this, because he didn't. If he found a relationship in January and he got free in November, how long was the toxicity that created that environment where he could find somebody else? Because you were doing stuff before. You guys were so the fights about money. What were they about? What were you saying?
the thing is, he's never been a one woman man.
Did you fight about that?
And I just kept my mouth shut about that all
Stay
these
with
years.
me,
I've known.
Christina. Stay with me, okay? Because I'm looking for the toxicity, right?
Hmm.
Stay with me. When you fought about money, because you said you fought about money a lot, let's go there first, okay? Is what did you fight over? What were you saying? Hey, you're a deadbeat, can't get it together. Like, what are you saying to him? Because you're not telling on yourself.
Honestly, I was just like, I told him I couldn't do more. Like, I told him, get your ass out there and work. I can't do more. I'm doing all that I can. Like, you're not doing anything.
And so you did that over the 14 years? Is that what we're seeing?
On and off. On and off, yeah.
Okay, good. When did that start?
Right from the beginning. He was never a really hardworking man.
Yeah, and so you said you're lazy?
Yeah.
Good. What else did you say? Christina, you're not telling on yourself. Everybody, are you clear that she's not telling on herself? You know what I'm saying? You gotta start. You gotta tell. Listen,
I said he's lazy. He's not a man.
Ooh. You're not a man.
He doesn't know how to take care of his family.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Now we're talking. All right. See, until now, we weren't talking about nothing, right? Now we're talking. You told the man that he wasn't a man. Just cut his balls right out from under him. I mean, really. And he's got to come home to that every day. Wow. Now we're talking. All right. Now we're cooking. All right. Now this is the toxicity that he has. And I'm going to tell you, he's a serotonin. He's not a dopamine. All right. And I'm going to tell you why he's a serotonin. All right. Number one, he's prone to cheating. Number two, he likes to feel good about himself and whoever's going to make him feel good about himself. Compares himself to other people. 100%. I know who he is now. Right. Just from me listening to this. And then you made him small. You made a serotonin small, which makes him go somewhere else. That's what happened. Do you get this?
Mm-hmm.
So then it doesn't matter who the person is. It doesn't matter how much you've got with the person. It doesn't even matter if you're a better woman than the other woman. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, he needs to feel good about himself. He needs to feel like he has a shot at being in higher standing, but he doesn't get that with you. He gets the opposite. And so that created the long-term toxicity that now you got to push out of the relationship. And guys, does any of this make sense to everybody who's listening to me right now? Yeah, thank you. All right, this is 100% what it looks like. And I'm telling you, relationships are like this. 1 + 1 = 2, period. 100%. There's a simple math to relationship. Some of you are doing the same thing. You emasculated your partner. Your partner is this certain type of person, right? We have different kind of drivers, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. There are things that they need or alleviation of stress. And then you're the person who should be giving them that access. And in the beginning, Christina did. She gave him access to feeling better about himself, about feeling like he was the man, feeling special. And then all of a sudden she stopped. She didn't do it anymore. And then guess what? He had to go self-medicate. Right? Self-medicates with the alcohol. He self-medicates by finding other people who make him feel good about himself. That's what we do. It ain't personal against Christina. He's doing what he has to do to get to get what he needs. That's what's happening. Now, I'm not condoning it. I'm telling you how it works for all of us and for your partners. So if you can get that, the very first thing that's got to happen is that we got to pull out that toxicity. We got to pull out that toxicity. That toxicity is 14 years old. Been sitting down there. You've been telling him he's not a man, that he's lazy, and that he's not all that. That's what's going on. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, can you feel it now? Why he's out? He's out there with somebody else. Does it make sense? It totally makes sense. Now, Christina, I'm talking to you like this because I'm coach, and I want you to get to the other side, and I want to let you know, so far what I'm hearing, I think you can get to the other side. I know it sounds bad right now, right? But if you don't actually get to the source of it, guys, the very first thing that we've got to do is that we've got to get to the source of what the toxicity is so you can take it out. See, the good thing about Christina that the other woman doesn't have is that he and Christina have 14 years together and they have a child together. You guys understand this? So that is literally the brain says, I should stick around because we have a child together and we've already spent all this time together. The heart says, I don't want to be here. Does that make sense? And so we've got to create an alignment between this and this. And if we can create an alignment between the two, then guess what happens? They come back. We don't create that alignment, they don't come back. So how do you create the alignment? Well, the very first thing that you've got to do, Christina, is that you got to take out the toxicity, right? Now, the toxicity is what you just told me. This is what we needed to hear all along. You guys need to tell on yourselves, is the bottom line. Some of you aren't really telling on yourself. You're talking about, oh, he's prone to cheat and he's this, he's that. You're talking about him, I'm talking about you, right? And I need you to be about you, because if you can be about you and I can discover what that is, which we just did. You've been telling that man for 14 years he ain't a man. He's going to go find somebody, anybody who's going to make him feel like a man. You get what I'm saying? And it could be a far lesser woman. Truth be told, it doesn't even have to be somebody better than you. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. And guys, that's the vulnerability that we create inside of our relationships. But don't you worry about it, Christina. I need you to feel that pain that you may have just inflicted on your relationship this entire time that you didn't know that you were doing. Right? I need you to actually feel it. Because if you don't feel it, if you don't feel that pain, then you can't in any way take it and extract it from him. There's an impact to those words. There's an impact to the woman, to him coming home and he's never a king of his own home. Do you get what I'm saying? He's just a lazy bum, no man bum. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what you need to get. Now, inside of what we have, by the way, you did fantastic work. You read the book. So this is fantastic. So now you understand kind of a better idea of, okay, where do I need to go inside of cleaning this thing up, right? This is it. This is the beginning. All right. So now that we have this is one of the big ones. This is probably the biggest one. And that woman is telling him, you're great. You're going to be awesome. You're going to make lots of money. I see so much talent in you, so much ability. And he's like, yeah. And he's getting triggered. Serotonin is getting spiked the whole entire time. It's easy, is the bottom line. He's been like in a desert and she's giving him cold water. That's what's happening. Now we can turn that around. This is a good thing. Okay? The beginning of it is because you make sense here, you just don't make sense here. The very first thing that's got to happen is we now have to clean that up. Guys, this is actually what we do. If there's toxicity, there's a way to clean up that toxicity. You say, man, there's no way I can come back from this. There's somebody else in the picture. That's a lie. I'm telling you, thousands of people come back from toxicity all the time. They come back from affair partners all the time. They leave their affair partners, come home, and they say, I'm so sorry that I ever doubted our relationship and my love for you. 100%. And we can bring them back, but you got to start triggering the right buttons. You guys get what I'm saying? It's got to happen. So first things first, Christina, is that we got to detoxify your relationship. That means that you got to go in and you got to address this, period. Now, when you first address it, here's what's going to happen. It's what we call a cleanup conversation. You're going to do what we call cleanup conversation and cleanup actions. I can't go too deep into it right now because I really do want to work with somebody else. I want to work with somebody else, but you got gold now, right? Okay, and I'm going to work with you after this. Christina, do me a favor, put your information. We have your info, right? Do we have your info? Yep. All right, do me a favor, drop your info. You know, just go ahead and fill out. Go to that link and fill it out. All right, so Christina, I want you to drop your information in there too. It's going to ask you for your name, email, and phone number, right, guys, inside of that. And just put your name, email, and phone number in is the bottom line. Okay? And
I think Nicole is tired of talking to me, though.
Huh?
I want to work. Nicole is probably tired of talking to me.
I know. Don't worry. We're going to work something out because I want to see you through. I think that we can help you 100%. All right? Is the bottom line. Okay? So here's what you need to do. We first need to clean up the toxicity unless we have no shot. Guys, everybody here's got toxicity. You made mistakes like Christina made mistakes. That's a freaking, like what she did, straight talk, is death to the relationship. She didn't even know it for a serotonin. That's somebody who needs to be in a higher position to feel good about themselves, feel like they have a good social standing. You know what I mean? They have to feel this way. So they have to feel special. And she made him not feel special. That's the worst thing you can do to a serotonin. Serotonins are given to cheating, right? He's given to cheating, isn't he, Christina? Right? To finding other people. He's vulnerable to it. Yeah, 100%. I know this guy, right? Is the bottom line. right? And so the reality of the situation, I am this guy, right? Serotonin. I'm also a serotonin is the bottom line. So if we don't feel that special, then what happens is we got to go find special somewhere else. We got to self-medicate is the bottom line. Okay. And so you got to watch for that and be very, very careful for that. So now she actually just did this egregious thing with the serotonin, right? And so it seems like there's no way back, but you can find your way back, right? For 14 years, she's been stepping on him, emasculating him, cutting his balls off. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. And so now we can take that out because what he sees is a future with her where he's never going to be able to be the man he wants to be ever. And that's why he loves MLM girl. Let's just call her MLM girl, right? She's coming in and she's telling him, hey, sell this product and you're going to be great and your life is going to work and everything else. So she's creating a future with him that he wants to see, and he doesn't see that future with you. We're going to change your future. That's what we got to do. And guys, everybody here, the reason why your partner wants out is not because of the past. It's because of the future. Basically, they believe that that future with you is going to look the way that it did in the past. Now, if you guys have years together, if you have children together, if you have a mortgage, you have anything that binds you, there's more likely than not that you make sense this way. Now what has to happen is we got to take out the toxicity here, and then we have to now be able to trigger happy hormone, bottom line. All right. And then that can shift the relationship. Christina, you can shift that relationship. And you guys are home, which is fantastic. And that's exactly where we want to be. Does that make sense?
I hope so. I hope so. I've been trying so much. I've been trying everything in that book. Everything.
Yeah. No, here's what you didn't try in that book. You didn't try to tell on yourself. And this is the stuff, guys, that you can't. This is why we don't just read a book. This is why it really does help to have a coach, because you really do need somebody who's going to say where you can actually see yourself and see the stuff that you haven't seen that's destroyed your relationship and continues to destroy your relationship. There's stuff that Christina's doing today that's still pushing him away, and she's not even aware of it. Now, you guys look at Christina. She's sweet. She looks like a teddy bear. But guess what? She's also the one who said, you're not a man. She's got teeth. And we've all got teeth. We've all got some things that we're doing that jack the relationship up. Do you get what I'm saying? We're doing stuff. So we just got to take that stuff out first. That's what we call active toxicity that you don't even know that you've got. And then we've got to also take out the long-term toxicity, the things you did from years ago that they still remember, that are giving them that future, and say, my life is always going to look this way with you. Does that make sense, Christina?
When they have a stone cold heart now,
Christina, nobody has a stop. Nobody has a stone cold heart. His heart's warm. It's just not for you. Do you get that? And that's cold, right? Mario's got a stone cold heart right now, right? Because I said that. It was like really cold. But you want to get that is exactly the way it is. Right now, he's just not warm to you because he doesn't see you as a source, someone who's going to be able to give him what he needs. Does that make sense? So stop saying he's got a stone. Guys, stop saying your partner's stone cold, that they're a narcissist, and all this other jazz that people say. Get over it. They're reactive. They're reacting to things that you've done or ways that we've been or what they're dealing with in life. That's it. And so if you can stop that reaction, at some point they were fantastic. We can get them back to being fantastic again. Does that make sense? Christina, you can save your marriage. That's what I want to say. But it's going to take work, and you're going to have to be a new human being. Are you willing to do that?
I'm damn willing. I've been trying everything, so.
Yeah, good. You haven't been trying everything.
I've been, well.
What have you tried?
Well, I've done all the dosing.
No, not from the book.
I've done.
What have you tried before the book?
What have you tried?
What have you tried before the book?
Before the book, well, I tried begging.
I've done that. Been there. What else?
I tried apologizing.
Okay, good.
That didn't help. I've been honest to him about everything.
Yeah.
Like.
Honest about what? Did you do your dirt too?
I was honest, well, because he was calling me a liar and a manipulator, and I turned around and said, I haven't manipulated you about anything. I did spend $5,000 that behind his back that he's holding against me.
Okay,
And
good. Yeah.
I admitted it to him. I told him what it was for and all. And
All right, cool. Good. Let me
yeah.
keep going, okay? I want to keep going here, okay? So this is good. We've all tried those things 100%, and none of that stuff has worked, right? So that's okay, Christina. I've been there, I've done that, and you're doing that now, and now that's not going to work going forward. Now, even this, guys, here's what I want to say to you is that you got to tell on yourself. And this is why this kind of forum, this group, this kind of setting gives a great opportunity for you to start telling on yourself, because you got to start seeing the things that you haven't really gotten and taken responsibility for. Christina has to take a lot of responsibility for who she's been with him. And that's the beginning of it. Now, for their daughter, he would come back. If he could have the relationship he wants to, he'd come back for his daughter. He'd come back for you. He'd come back for 14 years, right? Is the bottom line. But you got to change things. Things got to shift in a major way. We're going to talk about what we can do to have those things shift for you. But the first thing, because you've got the book, you already know, is that you're going to have to do a cleanup conversation as a bottom line. And it's got to be created about this particular thing, about the emasculation, about the, you know, the way that you've left him through the years. So the opportunity is for him to come back. You're the cheapest source of happy hormone if we can create that source again. Does that make sense? But we got to detoxify. Right now, you're trying to be nice and sweet and all that, but you're just putting lipstick on a pig. We got to stop doing that. So, Christina, whoever, just go ahead and click that link, put your name in again so we have all your information so I can actually have Brian. We can follow up with you. Does that work?
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Guys, give it up for Christina. Thank you so much.